YouTube, and welcome to an episode of Just Get It There. I'm going to do a little bit of a light review of Indian River transport. I've been here for about a week now. Today is Wednesday, so yeah, I've been here about a week. Started orientation on Tuesday. I'm going to do a little bit of a thing about the Peterbilt and a little bit about what's going on with Indian River. But I did a video a while when I worked with GP about the Freightliner and that. So now I'm gonna do a video about the Peterbilt. What I don't like about the Peterbilt. The Peterbilt is a nice truck. Don't get me wrong, but the design's concept is a little bit funky, if you ask me. As you can see, I'm just letting you look out the window. As I'm doing this, before I do this, I'm gonna try to do this with as much non sarcasm as I can. But this is this a setup that I don't like. Now, mind you, I don't know if they changed their setup for their newer trucks, but this is a 21/22 Peterbilt 579 flat top. As we get started, it's got the digital display with all the fun gadgets and gadgets, and that the headlights you turn on right here. It's got the auto, it's got everything else, but I don't like it. It's in a weird spot. Same goes with the hazards and the sleeper lights. The light for I'm sorry, not for the sleeper, but for the cab. They're all down here along with the ignition, and so is the hazard, which I can't figure out why they have them down there. I don't like the spot for them. I think they could do better. But as you can see, this truck's got 510,000 miles on it. A lot of high mileage. And of course, there's a smart wheel. It's got the same smart wheel as the Kenworth T680. The dash is just a little bit laid out. You can still customize it by using this wheel right here. Change it to whatever you want. You can scroll through. There's the menu on the dash. You hit the back button right here, and you got different waypoints where you can hit so you can do your trip. Then we move over here. These are my phone mounts for holding my phones. And you got the actual the old school gauges, which I love. Not this, especially the fuel. I don't like that curved spot. The dash or the speedometer is the same thing as a Kenworth with that. I don't like it. But back to here. Here's the phone mounts, the switches, basic switches. Nothing really fancy. Up is on, down is, well, yes, to switch it off, you gotta hit it twice. Or to turn it on, turn it off. Not a big fan of it. The got a lot of this is the control for the brightness of the dash, which works, but it's what it is. And where they got the mount where you plug your charging ports in is right in the storage compartment. Right there. Two USB chargers and a cigarette lighter adapter for the 12-volt outlet. That's all you have in the front of this truck. No more. There is no more other outlets. They're in the awkward and dumb spot. They're gonna put them someplace else, not there. That little storage compartment right underneath everything is basically useless storage. You can't really put nothing in there. That's useless and pointless at the same time. That is the cab of the truck. And here's your storage. Useless. And there's another storage. Yeah. Useless storage space. But again, this is a flat top, so what do you expect? Let's go into the sleeper for a minute. One thing I will give Peterbilt this, they give you a little bit more over here, but I don't like it. And up here is where the microwave will go. Would go if I had a microwave or a printer or whatever. That's the only 110 outlet for the with the inverter is right here, and a little bit of creature comforts and all that right here. And you got 3 power outlets back here. That's it. Not much for power outlets on a Peterbilt, I'll tell you that much. But over here, we got the wardrobe, which I'm going to open just so you can see it. Yes, you can hang things a little bit better, but than in the Freightliner. The TV mount is right there. Again, nowhere to plug a TV in. You would actually have to run it overhead or somehow to run an extension cord over to that outlet to watch TV, DVD, or whatever you want to watch. Not that bright. And of course, you got more storage. Got all kinds of storage. And a bottom drawer where it pulls out. And then you come over here, wardrobe cabinet, refrigerator, and a tiny ass drawer. And yes, the bunk does lift up. But then again, like I said, I'm not impressed with the Peterbilt brand. I'm more of a Kenworth guy. And that's what I prefer is a Kenworth over a Peterbilt any day of the week. Now let's get on to Indian River. Yes, I was supposed to go to California for a 2,700-mile run, but I wasn't. There's no way I would have been able to make it because my truck had issues. I had to get a new windshield. I don't know if you can't really see it, but there's a brand new windshield in my truck. And I had issues with AC in my sleeper berth. I had no AC and all that fun stuff. So I picked up the load and I dropped it here at the yard. And then they turned around and my truck went into the shop. And there was just no way I could actually physically pull off going to California. So I've been here at the terminal. They're trying to get me back to New York so I can get some stuff for the truck. I don't have enough stuff. I had to do laundry, which I had to go buy laundry soap because I didn't have any. But yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. But Indian River is not a bad company. Tanking is something that I wanted to do for a long time, but I'm not 100% sure if I still want to do it or not. There's a lot of things that have been going on that I just don't know if I want to do or not. And I'm not going to slam Indian River for any of it because none of it has to do with Indian River. A lot has to do with stuff in my life that's been going on. So it is what it is. I'm going to stick it out as much as I can and go from there. But yeah, these Peterbilts, these 579s for what I thought they were going to be, I thought they'd be a whole lot more room. Not really. And on their websites, they say their trucks do 70 to, they're supposed to do 70 miles an hour, and they don't. They do, mine does 70. There's trucks out here that go a lot faster than mine. I'm grateful for that. Those trucks go faster than me because I really don't care. I'd rather do 70 then do 75, 80 miles an hour. They do have trucks out here that do faster than that. But I'm going to start this truck up. We're going to take a little bit of a walk because I'm going to show you what equipment other than Peterbilt that this company does have, because they do have other equipment, but they're used supposedly for team driving. Because this truck has no upper bunk and all it has is lower bunk. Let's do a little bit of a walk. There's my truck right there. With my nice shiny new windshield. But not impressed with the 579, not by a long shot. But yeah, they do have the Peterbilts. They have a lot of Peterbilts. They do have a few Kenworths, but they're supposedly team drivers. And I already told them if they want to give me a Kenworth, I'll take a Kenworth over a Peterbilt any day. I just like Kenworths better. I'm more accustomed to it. They do have Freightliners, but I'm going to show you so you can see them for proof. Because when you're on the highway, 90% of the trucks you're going to see that's Indian River are Peterbilts. You're not going to see the Kenworths. I think the Kenworths are a lot better than the Peterbilts do. Well, they are a 680, and like I said, I'm used to the 680. I'm not used to the 579s. This is the first Peterbilt that I've ever driven, so yeah, it's what it is what it is. But let's see what we can find here. I didn't think I seen any of the Freightliners here. I did earlier. Oh wait, there's a Freightliner right up here. I'm just gonna skim over it without talking because I don't want people to hear what I'm doing or be nosy what I'm doing. Even though I do have permission to do stuff for the company as long as I don't make them look bad. Yeah, they did it on their own, I guess. But then again, knowing me, I probably won't getting blamed for it. But yeah, there's a Freightliner. Freightliner Cascadia. Supposedly a team truck. They're team drivers. Why are they still parked? Who knows? But as you can see, most of the trucks here are Peterbilt. There is a chemical there, but I'm not going to go over that because I'm not a big fan of what that guy did. Because the trucks don't look like that. But there is a Kenworth. I do know where one is. It's here. Let's go see if we can find it again. Because like I said, every truck that I see here is nothing but Peterbilts. That's a new Peterbilt. Nice and shiny. I wish I had that truck. Nice shiny Peterbilt. Granted, it is nighttime, so it is what it is. Can only show things at night because there's so many people walking around here, and I don't want too many people getting in or getting offended that I may video them. But it is what it is. What can you do, you know? You can only do so much. This is so much fun walking around the yard and trying to find things. But like I said, I wanted to show you the Freightliner that they do have. If you're interested in teams, they do have offerings for team drivers here, and they do offer either Freightliner or the Peterbilt or the Kenworth. They do have Peterbilts that are team drivers, but it is what it is. And there's the 680 right there. And by the way, none of these trucks have front curtains on them. They have these shades. But here's the Kenworth. Lot nicer of a truck. But that is all for today. Stay tuned for my next video because I'll be heading to Georgia tomorrow and then to getting loaded in Georgia and getting to New York. Hope I get some good video or good something with that. So until then, bye for now.